Welcome back to Lane Switching. Today, I'm in here with one of the, not newest, but he's been doing this for a bit now. Voices of Ottawa. We got Chris in the building.
Yes, sir.
How you
Yes,
doing
sir.
today, man? Thanks for
good.
being here.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
good, bro. How are you?
I'm very good, and
Yeah.
for people who have actually watched some previous interviews, you were featured back in February.
Yeah,
The
on
Mel
the
Clips
on the
interview.
Mel Clips interview.
Yeah, that's super sick. So now it's come full circle. I'm happy to have you on the show. Happy to have
I'm,
you.
I'm glad to be here for my own interview then.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna start it off like all the other interviews and just tell us about yourself, tell us about your upbringing.
Um, I was born in Congo, Africa, so I still am very much in touch with my African roots. Um, I lived there for a couple years, I think like 5 years, and then I moved to Europe, where I was really into EDM music for a really long time. I lived there for about 8, 9 years in Belgium.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then when I turned 15, I moved here. Um, lived in the West for a bit in Hindenburg,
Okay, yeah.
and then for like 6 months, and then I moved here out in the East. Other than that, I've just been really into music since I was a little kid. Like I think I was like 6. Like the first memory I have of music, I was 6 playing drums in my mom's kitchen, but not really drums, like on her pots and pans type shit.
Okay,
Yeah. But yeah, music has always been a part of my life, and I grew up going to church with my family, and my spiritual life is a big part of my life as well. And obviously, when you get to making music and you get personal with it, it's all gonna intertwine a bit. And my music is very much personal.
Most definitely, and I think it's super important to, add a little substance to it that's really you, that
Mhm.
really, it can separate you from the pack. But when did you start taking music seriously?
Um, I think I was 16. Because from a very young age, growing up in church and stuff, going to church, you hear a lot of people talk about purpose and doing this type of stuff, being here for specific reasons. And from very young age, I started wondering, why am I here, right? And I dabbled in a lot of things, but music was just a constant that had always been there in my life. And at 16, I started writing rap songs in my iPhone notes.
Okay, of course.
And after a couple months of doing that, I was like, this is it. This is why I'm here. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I just, yeah, since 16, I never put my mind away from it. I was like, this is what I want to do. No one's gonna tell me anything else. And here we are.
That's tough. That's tough. And let's talk about your recent music,
Yeah.
your newest project, your newest EP, Yung Blasé. How
Yeah.
did that come together? And what's some favorite moments about making that project?
The story of Yung Blasé is actually like, it's what I feel a proper introduction of myself is, like, to show the world, to show the city, to show the people that have been keeping up with my music for a little while. It's to showcase that I have a certain trajectory, a certain course I've been through in my life. And there's been mental struggles, there's been real life struggles, and I just wanted to put all of it out there on an EP, not only for musical reasons, and not only to put it out there and to show people like, oh, you're not alone struggling, because that's important, obviously, but it was more so for me, because I look, therapy's not cheap, first of all,
No.
but also, like, I process things better when I write them out in music, and that's what I wanted to do with that EP. And once I got it out there, I felt like releasing it was almost therapeutical. Like it lifted a literal weight off my shoulders. So now I can get back to making fresh music and get back into touching whatever type of music I want. It's like this was introducing myself, getting that out the way, and now I can do whatever I want.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I like that mindset, and I like that we got new music coming on the way. But
Yeah.
just to talk a bit more about the story of Young Blase,
Yeah.
would you consider that your like intro project?
Yeah, I would. It has a little bit of everything. Like I think the first song is the embodiment of Chris right now, because it starts off with a little bit of singing, and then it has rapping. There's bars in it, and then at some point there's like this almost rock screaming part, and
Yeah.
then it transitions back out, and I that's what I'm coming to do. I'm singing, I'm rapping, I'm yelling on songs. We're doing all of it, and the story of Young Blasé represents that perfectly.
That's dope. And I think something a little bit different from that project and, your music going forward is that, before, if you really look into your music, it's a lot of trap and drill.
Yeah.
When was kind of the transition where it's like, I don't just want to dabble in these subgenres, I kind of want to, stretch out and do other different things outside of that, keeping it hip hop,
Yeah.
but stemming away from those two?
Um, I had released a drill song, and I think at some point I I got tired of listening to it
Mm.
because um yeah, we're in the studio right now, and I hang out with Z Thang a lot. That's my engineer, that's my producer,
That's so
and
cool.
we're constantly making music. And I know on my phone I got so much stuff that doesn't even sound anything like trap or drill. And at some point I just got tired of pretending that that's all we're doing. We got a lot of different stuff coming. So it was just kind of like we experiment a lot, but it was kind of like I was being shy because I didn't know if people would mess with it if I dropped personal stuff, or if I dropped deep lyrics, or if I dropped something that's not trap or drill. But I feel like the best music that's gonna come from us is the music that we like the most. So that's what we're doing now.
And when do you think that switch flipped? What made you kind of, step out of your comfort zone? Because most artists,
Yeah,
don't even step out of their comfort zone.
yeah. I think it was just a mental thing. I think at some point I got tired of uh I guess pretending, I got tired of keeping up an act or trying to fit into a certain box. At some point I'm going to have to learn to be myself. And that's just happened. Like, I think I was 18 and I was like, I don't know, let's do things differently. I think after I dropped either All of That or Trap Star, I was like, okay, let's just switch things around.
For sure. And I think, a lot of people, they get stuck in their comfort zone and don't even realize that that may not even be their best.
Yeah.
That you can achieve your best in other alleys and other different ways of music. And so, sticking to just one subgenre is usually not the best move.
No.
But let's talk a little bit about what's going on with you now. You're a part of Silent Night Records Collective.
Yeah.
Who's in the collective, and what is it all about?
So the Silent Night Records Collective is a group of individual artists and producers and just creatives looking to help each other out in any way we can, and just do each other favors and promote each other's stuff and post each other when the other drops, stuff like that. So right now it consists of me, Z Thang, the engineer, the kind of the glue. He holds everything together.
Yeah.
Then there's Rooftop Productions. There's Silent Syndicate. He's a really big producer on YouTube. You can look him up. There's Melly, our Melly. He's a photographer, videographer. He's a basketball player. This guy does it all. He's a super sick, talented kid, and a lot of people don't know this, but on the mic, he's actually crazy.
Has he ever released or not yet?
We just dropped our first. No, actually, not even our first song. We have a couple songs out, but we just dropped our most recent one like 2 days ago. No More Time, Silent Night Records Collective. Go check that out.
For sure.
I'm on the song as well, so it's a banger. You already know that. And yeah, that's it. I think we also have AP. AP is the fashion designer for Bellevue, and I'm always decked out in Bellevue. Not today somehow, but he always has us looking fresh, and he comes with a lot of. He's just a visionary. He's just a visionary. Yeah. So yeah, we're just a group of guys like coming out of high school. We all knew where we wanted to go with our lives, and we all knew that the entertainment, the fashion industry, the that world is where we were headed. So might as well help each other out by sending each other free beats, writing songs for each other. Um, Melly Melly hooks me up with photo shoots sometimes. AP hooks me up with drip sometimes. Shit like that. We just help each other out as much as we possibly can.
And as independent creatives, do you think that's been like the biggest thing that you wish you knew sooner, was to just form like a collective, form a community of, fellow creators? Has that been like the biggest move that has helped you, kind of not have to focus on so many things at once and kind of just focus on your music?
Yeah, because it definitely helps a lot, because I notice a lot of different artists have struggles with like getting the stems for their beats, for example, or getting an engineer to make their voice sound exactly how they want it. And like we just get to sit in a room together and be like, hey, let's work on a beat together. Let's make this mix together. Let's master this together. It's very, I get to be part of the process a lot more, about also like delegating certain things that as an artist, as a rapper, I don't want to have to work on a beat per se. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So stuff like that makes it a lot easier for me to work.
For sure, for sure. And, obviously you're a hip hop artist. I want to talk about a pretty big topic in the hip hop community. I don't think it's something that's been new, but over the last few years, I think there's always been that statement that hip hop has never matured. So it's like once you get past like your early mid 20s,
Yeah.
it's not really something that's of interest. It's not a
Right.
genre that's really given respect. I mean, fortunately, some people still give it respect,
Yeah.
later on in life, but it's something that people say has never matured.
Mhm.
Do you agree with that statement? Do you disagree? And, why do you feel that way?
I stand kind of on the fence with that one, because there's a lot of immaturity in hip hop, and I feel like we feed into it with the just the culture that we sometimes seem to be building up, you know. But then there's obviously still hip hop artists like J. Cole, Jay-Z, Drake, that are big, that are huge even, but that still, keep to their craft. Their raps are not getting any weaker. Their bars are still there. Their lyrics are can be sentimental at times, can be very personal, can have a lot of meaning behind them. But then there's also a lot of music that's just, the music that comes out every single Friday. There's so much music dropping every Friday, and a lot of it is just it's just bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just throw some words on a song and push it out.
Yeah.
And I feel like right now we're in an era where it doesn't matter if you're good or not. If you're popular, that's when your music is popping.
Yeah.
Right? If you got people that follow you, you got people that know you, that it doesn't matter if you're good or not, they're gonna listen to your music.
Yeah.
So that's just the era we live in. There's a lot of people that shouldn't be making music that are out there selling records like crazy. So I think we are promoting the immaturity by just following whoever is popping at the moment. Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think a lot of people fall into that just because it's just like, it's what's presented to you. A lot of good music isn't put out there because you don't really know who the investors are in the music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a lot of times it's just like you have people who are dropping, $1 million, $2 million on a Kodak Black record like Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really have any place.
No.
He doesn't have any place anymore in the culture. So it's just kind of like that stuff will always continue, and as long as someone like Kodak Black allows it to,
yeah,
it's always gonna continue.
It's gonna keep going, bro. That whole verse Kodak was just talking about how he's getting money from a rat.
Yeah,
he's just explaining himself for taking the verse. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's actually it's kind of jokes, but not my favorite, especially because Kodak's definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And kind of speaking about that, there's kind of this new generation, not really new generation, but I think it stems from the SoundCloud era, where it's like there's a lot of guys who they came up in rap, or they might still be seen as rappers, but they are kind of more rock stars than rap stars. Do you see yourself as more of a rap star or a rock star? And do you think there is a difference?
I think there is a difference. Hold up. Let me ask you this, though. Drake, rap star or rock star?
Pop star.
Pop star.
Yeah, I think he is more pop culture and, popular music.
Drake is just, if you say popular, then Drake, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so I feel like, maybe he was more rap star like 5-10 years ago, but like nowadays
Lil Wayne days, Lil Wayne, like when he was hanging with Lil Wayne and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and post that too. I would say like if you're reading this, it's too late. That album was still very much
Still
a
very
rap
rap.
album.
Yeah.
Free Smoke was still very much like an era where it was still, you know, rapping.
Yeah.
Even Scorpion, like, yeah. But I mean,
by Scorpion, I would say he was pop star though. He was already pop star.
Yeah. And then honestly, Nevermind, I think it's kind of cemented that.
Yeah.
But just for you, what would you say, rap star or rock star for yourself?
I think I'd want to stay a rap star, like just because of what hip hop and rap in it of itself means to me. Because that's where I started writing music. I write a lot of different songs now. I write R&B. I write we have some very indie folk sounding music not coming out. I don't know if it's coming out, but we're making it.
Mm-hmm.
But rap and boom bap specifically is where I started writing my music.
Yeah.
So that just means a lot to me, and I wouldn't want to I wouldn't want to be stripped of that title, because to me that means a lot to be a rap star.
Yeah.
It means a lot. And like rock stars can do their thing and Playboi Carti can do his thing, but yeah, I want to rap. Yeah.
For sure. And I want to talk about kind of an Ottawa topic. You're obviously an Ottawa rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Ottawa as a city, you know, we are over 1 million people, and no, we aren't as entertainment heavy as, say, a Montreal or Toronto, but do you think we have the capability of that? And when do you think will be the, you know, switch where we're not really seeing, you know, the scene is still kind of somewhat dominated, and people might take offense to it. It is what it is, but it's somewhat dominated by hobby rappers.
Yeah.
So people who are just doing it for a hobby and don't see it, not just as a career, but just taking it seriously and like perfecting it to the point where it's like you're putting something out there that's going to be able to compete with the, you know, the Preems, the Northside Benjis, the Pressas, the Doobies, the whoever's, you know. Do you think Ottawa has that capability?
I very much believe we do. And I don't think we're far off from that tilt happening. I say maybe a couple of years still, but it's definitely coming. And if you not just rap, if you look at the entertainment industry in general, there's a lot more clubs opening up or popping at least. There's just a lot of people doing things like fashion models. There's a lot of content creators. There's so many people are doing so many different things. And I feel like as a whole, the entertainment industry and the creative industry in Ottawa is going to lift itself up, because nobody else is going to do it for us. For right. And if you even look at the rate at which creative events are happening, it's like almost every weekend now. People are not just going to the club anymore. People are going to pop out to see their friend perform here, or my friend is DJing over there, or, you know, stuff like that is actually starting to happen. And I feel like as long as we keep putting the work in and we keep investing in ourselves, we don't really need anyone else. If like 1,000 artists and creatives just build each other up and keep on growing, the city of 1 million is gonna have to follow eventually. You know what I mean? Because I don't think anyone else in the city realizes we're not doing it for them. We do it for us.
For sure.
And that's why we keep on going. That's why we keep on investing. That's why we keep recording. That's why we keep dropping. And I feel like 5 years from now, it's gonna be serious competition with Toronto.
For sure. And just kind of a follow-up question to that, do you think that 2019 is a year in Ottawa hip-hop I think a lot of people look at, I think a lot of people come back to? Do you think that was one of the best years in Ottawa hip-hop, or do you think it's kind of overrated?
Oh, nah. Calling it overrated would be devious. Would be like, nah, because there was so much happening.
Exactly.
Like, that's when I feel like that's when I was like, yo, if everybody doing it, I might start dropping for real. Like, actually take this seriously. Because up until then, it was like making music with my friends, dropping here and there, writing songs by myself. But like, especially that Metro track with Metro FTG, like where they were all on it, bro. Like that was inspiring. And then like R.I.P. Metro, right after he passed too, like I think I just remember thinking like, now we have to, because he was doing so well, right? He was actually doing things. Like he was
Co-signed by TJ.
Yeah, like it's crazy. It was the first time, well, for me anyway. I hadn't been living in the city for that long, but it was the first time I started noticing like, oh shit, like up until this point people have been calling Ottawa boring, but it seems like we're not that boring no more. And yeah, I just have tried to keep that spirit alive, and I know people in the city are trying to keep that spirit alive. And no, 2019 is definitely a year that shifted things for us as a city because we started believing in ourselves more.
Yeah, no, for sure. I totally believe that. And, following up with that, what can we be expecting from you in the future? What's up next for Chris?
Oof. I'm really trying to tap into the city's potential, so I'm trying to work with a lot of different people. Um, there's a lot of people that I have in mind right now, but before we even get to that, me and the collective, the SNR Collective, we're dropping a mixtape in August, and I'm gonna be on there. Rooftop Productions, he's a producer, but he's gonna be singing and rapping on there.
Oh shit.
Silent Syndicate, he's gonna be singing and rapping on there. Melly's gonna be on there. Z Thang mixed and mastered the whole thing, and it's gonna sound clean. It's gonna sound fire, and we are very excited to show you guys what we've been working on. It's like a year of work, because what we do basically, we do these sessions we call 30-minute freestyles, and we'll just get in the studio, we'll make a beat and record to it in like 30 minutes. And a lot of those end up being throwaways, or we just keep in the vault. But at some point we're like, might as well make a mixtape out of something, so we just grabbed a bunch of the stuff that we've been working on and actually started finishing them. And these 8 songs we're really proud of and want to show the world,
For
so
sure.
that's what's coming next.
And maybe you can preview a date that's coming up in
August.
August.
A date. Late August. Let's say late August. Yeah.
Okay. So stay tuned for that.
Yes.
Coming out in late August. And for the people, where can they find you on social media?
CHRS Music on all my platforms. CHRS Music stands. Yeah, CHRS Music.
Where can they find the same shit for IG?
For Snapchat, Instagram, anything else, Threads, Twitter, anything. CHRS Music.
Most definitely, and we'll put it in the description too. Yes, that was the Chrs Interview. I appreciate you doing this, man. Appreciate you sitting in. Super dope interview.
Dope. This is really cool.
Yeah, great conversation. That was the Chrs Interview. I'm DF2.
I'm Chris. Appreciate you.
Peace, y'all.